What's going on, Legionnaires? Welcome to an episode of Legion Comic Correction, where we talk all things Star Wars! You looking for a fist bump, or you just...
I mean, you could do that. You could do that. That is a very dangerous fist bump for you.
Yeah, I mean, well, I've taken that to the face.
Oh, yeah, you have.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
It only knocked me out for a few minutes.
It's almost
If you don't know what we're talking about, join our Patreon. You can see that video where Logan literally punched me in the mouth.
In another dimension.
In another dimension, that's right.
Knocked him into another dimension.
Yeah. All right, guys, welcome. We are going to be talking about Star Wars Day in particular. We are talking about The Bad Batch, Season 3, the final season. They've said this is it. It's over. They wrapped up the story, and we're going to be talking about how well they wrapped up the story and whether we liked it or not. Because as a whole, we've liked the other seasons of Bad Batch.
Yeah.
We've appreciated their characters and the development and the fun bit of that universe. So we're going to finish wrapping that up this today and talk about we're going to talk about Star Wars.
For the Republic.
Guys, so if you like Star Wars and comic books, Marvel,
got the
DC,
headphones over it.
You did. It's big. They're big enough. If you like this kind of a podcast, guys, like and subscribe.
You look good.
Hit that bell.
You look good.
So that you can know when all of our latest episodes come out. If you want to help support the channel in a bigger way, you can go down to the links below. Click our legionofcc.com, where you can buy sweet merch like that. You can buy sweet merch like this, and you can buy sweet merch like the shirt that Fives is wearing over there. If you want to support in an even bigger way, you can go down and click our Patreon link down in the description below, where you can become a member. 3 different tiers, all different things that you can help us out with, like picking what we talk about. The last episode we talked about Fantastic Four 2015 as voted on by our Patreon.
Too much. It's too much.
we give away merch, we give promo codes, we give extra podcasts. So go on and check us out over there. All of that helps support this channel and makes us better. We could not do it without you.
He's trying to get him on. He's having a hard time.
It's not working.
Yeah.
You already got a visor on.
He needed more.
More visor.
He needed more visor. He needed more visor.
Double the visor.
More.
All right, guys, so we're talking about, if you have not seen, the new Bad Batch season just wrapped up right before May the 4th. So it's been a couple of weeks. So if you haven't seen it, it's still pretty new. Spoilers, spoilers, spoilers. We don't want to ruin it for you. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's on Disney Plus right now, and it's a good series. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. If you like the Clone Wars, if you like Clone Wars and Rebels and the animated stuff, it's good. And we're going to be talking about the newer ones coming out. We got the Tales of the Empire just dropped on May the 4th. We got to talk about that.
All of it.
Nice.
Watched it all.
I have not. Have you?
I haven't.
Yeah. We're going to talk about that soon. There's a lot of great animated stuff coming out recently.
There is.
So we're going to be talking about that stuff. But right now we're talking about Bad Batch Season 3. All right. Quick recap. Season 3 picks up where Omega's been captured by a Hemlock, and she's being experimented on in their secret base on TARDIS. And the Bad Batch. Tantus.
The TARDIS is
Doctor Who's
bigger on the
vehicle.
machine. Yeah.
There's a new Doctor Who show
That is true.
started on.
That's like saying
Tantus.
there's a new president every 4 years.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true.
Right.
That's
My
amen.
head hurts. This
Amen.
thing's killing me.
You've got like a.
I'm sure
It
I do.
looks like you've
It's
got a
indented.
scar on your.
Oh no, they're down.
Go! It's all right.
No.
I mean, he would have survived better than Parallax.
That's true.
So anyway, Omega's been captured. She's on Tantus with Hemlock being experimented on, and Tech has died.
He did.
He tried
Well,
to...
she's actually at the beginning of the season. She's not being experimented on.
Well, they're trying to, though.
Not really.
They're trying to take her blood.
Yes, but it
And-
keeps
and-
getting
She's not
stopped, so
experimented.
she's not being experimented
She's
on.
been subjected.
Hemlock believes she is.
He believes
Hemlock believes that
she
she's
is,
been
yes.
she's been taken to Tantus to be experimented on. Tech has died, giving his life for the rest of the batch.
Yep.
And Hunter and Wrecker are trying to pull their resources with Echo and Rex to find
Omega. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's it.
Wrecker!
And
Betcha,
Batcha!
betcha,
and
Betcha bottoms dollar!
betcha, come here, betcha. I need you to eat these people.
Hunter!
and what's his name is
Wrecker.
Crosshair is
Emery?
imprisoned on Tansis.
Yes, Crosshair is imprisoned and being experimented on.
And definitely being
Yeah, he's getting all his little handshakes going. He had too
He's
much
got
caffeine.
too much alcohol and caffeine in
Too
his
much,
body.
too much.
Yep.
Too much
The
of
old
those
nicotine.
Nicotine.
He needs the patch.
He needs the patch.
A patch, Crosshair.
He's zinning right now. That's what he's doing. He's just
He's
zinning.
Abro Zane Lincoln. And
He needs to get his vape on.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that's where we're at. And
Christopher
insanity,
Zinwacken.
insanity pursues or ensues. It pursues us
Yes.
too.
Pursues insanity is always lurking. It's always lurking. For me, insanity is always lurking. I see insanity always. It's always present for me.
Would you say you're
Okay.
insane in the membrane?
I am
insane in the brain.
clinically insane in the membrane.
Would you
Yeah.
say that insanity is almost like the force for you? It's
In-
always
in-
around
yeah,
you.
it's
Who's
always
more
around
insane,
me.
you
I have a
or
high
Linsanity?
level- what? Or what?
Linsanity.
Linsanity died, so I'm
Died
still
hard.
more. It died hard, and I'm
So
definitely
you have
more
now
insane.
taken the first place for sure.
So if
Oh,
he's Die Hard, does
100%.
that mean he's
Yeah.
like John McClane? Or
Well, no,
Bruce
because
Willis?
he's not coming again.
Oh, okay.
He's not. No.
Bruce
is he going to die harder?
He's not gonna.
Oh, okay,
no,
no.
Linsanity's won't. Linsanity's dead.
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 It's
He
the
done
one
dead.
thing in this
Done.
world
Like
that we
Tech.
can just know is
Dead.
dead
Like
and
Tech,
not
like-
coming
like
back.
Tech.
Like Michael Jackson, probably not
Well,
dead.
now we
Like Tech.
can say Tech didn't come.
Walt
back.
Disney, probably not dead.
Like
Walt Disney.
Lynn, dead.
He's cryogenically frozen beneath
Walt Disney?
Yeah,
For sure.
to
Yeah.
Disney
Yeah.
or Magic Kingdom.
Magic
He's
Kingdom.
right below Magic Kingdom.
he's actually. I think he's in the statue that of him
himself?
and Mickey.
no,
He's in there. They put his brain in there.
no,
I think
he's
so.
no, too small. Trust me.
His
Trust
brain
me.
is bigger.
The actual
Is the statue too small?
theory.
How do you know
is
how
he's
big Walt Disney's
in-
brain was?
Have you gone beneath? Have you
I've
you
never-
done the
I've
underground?
never-
Have
never
you?
been
I've
to
done the
any-
underground.
I've never been to any
Yeah.
Disney thing.
So I've done the underground, and
I haven't
in the
sold my
caverns
soul to the
of-
mouse
Yeah,
Logan
yeah.
has.
But I've done the underground,
many times.
and apparently in the underground there is a
cryogenic
series of tunnels that if you go down the right pattern beneath the
to the vault.
beneath
Vault-Tec.
you're joking, it's real.
Yeah.
Beneath the Cinderella Castle,
Okay.
course.
you will eventually come across a white
A
door
whole new world.
that has a WD on it, and inside there is a state-of-the-art cryogenic frozen
Warner Brothers.
space. Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers.
I think
Yeah.
that was a Futurama episode, actually.
A future what?
A Futurama episode
With Walt Disney?
in
Yeah.
the
Or
floating head.
Simpsons for sure.
He's he's
I
definitely
think
down
both,
there.
maybe they're owned the
Probably.
same people.
Cryogenically frozen.
Grogan.
because he had the cancer diagnosis. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
On that note,
On that
Star
note,
Wars.
Star Wars happened, and Walt Disney was not found in that vault, but instead enslaved force sensitive.
It was
children.
Wreck-A.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Not Wrecker is not force sensitive, though he'd be a force.
He is a force
He is
Yes.
a
to be
force.
reckoned with.
To be
To
reckoned
be
with.
reckoned with.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right. So lots happened. Lots happened in this season.
Yep.
What are some of the highlights? Well, let's name some highlights first before we start picking it apart, because there
Ooh.
were some things that we wish they could have done better, and things that maybe we were disappointed in. I don't know.
So my
What do you like?
favorite part of the entire season 3
Yes.
is Crosshair's redemption story. That is
Sure.
my
Crosshair
favorite
was great.
part.
Crosshair was really good.
His trying
Yeah.
to continually push away Omega and
Yes.
her staying with him,
Resilience.
supporting him,
Tenacity.
caring for him
I like that.
because she views him as a brother.
Yes.
And his
You're my brother,
then
Crosshair.
shift to becoming her, like
Yes,
for
he's the
over
father.
the over
He's the
the
father
whole first 2 seasons, it was Hunter was her protective
Yes,
father
yes,
figure,
yes.
and then it became Crosshair being her
Yes.
protective father figure.
Yeah.
And
Or maybe
he-
the older brother.
yeah,
protector.
I would actually
older
now that
brother
I'm saying
protector.
like Hunter is
Hunter's
still
father.
the father
Father?
figure, but Crosshair becomes the true protective big brother who will
Yes.
do nothing to allow any, or I'm sorry, who won't allow any harm to come to her,
Right.
and that's just
And
absolutely amazing.
He's more level-headed than Hunter.
Yeah.
He's got that I don't know. It's just
Cool, like the coolness.
the cool collected.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
He'll
get
do, well,
Composure.
no. I just think he's willing and recognizes, like, I'll do it. She did anything.
right. Anything and everything. for
Anything
me.
and
Yeah.
everything to stay with me, and she should have left. She
Right.
should have.
He said
left me
he's like, I would have left you without a question.
And no, he wouldn't anymore.
Not
anymore.
Yeah,
Right.
Not by the end of the
Not
season.
by the end of the season.
He
was
is-
willing to do anything to make sure she was protected and cared for. To the extent of he knew towards the end of the season, going back to Tantus, that he didn't think he was coming out. He didn't think he was coming out at all.
Yeah, the emotional
but
damage.
If
the
he could save
damage.
her,
right,
then it would be worth it.
Right, he was willing to die to get her out.
He was willing to die to get her out, which is a complete change in his arc.
Yeah.
Totally. And I love it.
Yeah, she is.
That was the biggest emotional piece for me, was watching that change episode over episode episode for Crosshair. It was amazing. That was amazing.
She's what he hoped the Empire would be.
Yes.
He thought the Empire was going to be his true family.
She was the family.
But she was the actual
It
family.
wasn't, and it wasn't even the Bad Batch.
No.
Like it wasn't the others.
He felt left out.
He always felt left out and left behind, or
just he was always the more ruthless, and so he didn't really he never really connected with them.
She
but
became
was his
family. She became his family.
I love when he's like, you're a child, and she's like, I'm older than you.
Yeah.
Little brother. She calls him little brother.
Little
brother, and he's just like,
yeah, it's great. It's super
laughs
good.
At her.
Yeah, super good.
Yeah,
you're right. That's great. Yeah, Crosshair. I'm really glad they didn't just leave him to be the betrayer.
Yeah,
but they allowed him the chance to breathe.
His story arc over all 3 seasons was amazing.
Yeah, really good.
I really loved Crosshair.
Yeah, he's definitely the shining point. I think.
Yep.
Him and Omega, were the shining points in the show.
Omega eventually became. I thought it was cool to see Omega grow in her own way, to be able to like lead the little kids eventually at the end.
Yeah, I love how she makes she figures out the schematics, and like lays them out with the toys
I've been
and everything.
Trained to do this at this point.
Yeah.
Like
at one point, Crosshair's like, do you know
72.
70, whatever. And she's like, Tech had me memorize all of them.
Right.
He's like, oh, of course he did. And so she like knows it all.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Super cool.
And so I thought like it was almost like she became the best parts of all of them, which was really cool.
Right. Yeah.
Which is what they want.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. She's the glue. She's the cohesion.
Of course.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was really good. You just see, but like, I don't feel as though there was then, and this isn't my worst part of it, but like I felt like then like Hunter and Wrecker just became kind of abandoned storylines. They like didn't really evolve much in this season. I don't think they advanced much.
They were the vehicle. They were like a vehicle.
Yeah. So I think they're actually, honestly, I think their greatest time to shine in this season was a somewhat throwaway episode when they went with Fennec. Like, because you get to see him really be the hunter and him really be the muscle. And like,
you're right.
They were allowed to shine in that episode, and it was cool, but it was also kind of like a throwaway episode to get intel for Omega.
Hunter's best moment of the entire series was the fast forward at the end. That's Hunter's.
That was great.
Like the last like 5 minutes.
Hunter, you grew a beard.
It was like the entirety of the.
You look like an old
everything
man,
else.
Hunter.
I was like, Hunter ain't really doing anything.
He ain't doing much.
Well, but in the first,
he just kept going.
In the first season, he was great.
Yeah.
And
but I'm talking about this season, like 3. It was clearly the drivers of season 3 were Crosshair and Omega, just driving forward.
And Betcher. Get him, Betcher. Eat those stormtroopers.
Yep.
He did. Eat them.
Greg, what was your favorite? Oh my word!
You are tempting. No, here's the thing.
I think I backed my seat up a little bit.
You're trying, like, it's getting worse and worse. You're hitting it worse and worse.
One of these episodes, I'm just gonna pick it up and just
throw it.
Just waiting for you to like.
You pick it up. You stole a whole night from me.
Yeah. There's a secret like part of him that just
wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
It was.
Sorry. Go ahead.
My favorite part.
Is that what we're doing? Favorite part?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I think my favorite part was Hemlock. Hemlock was really cool.
And Hemlock was interesting.
I thought he was really cool. I'm glad they killed him.
Yeah.
Because he was such a force.
Oh, hold on.
No, we already said spoilers.
No, I know, but I mean, like,
is he really dead? He got shot like Crosshair
15
lit him up.
times. Yeah.
Well,
He's dead. Though actually,
I don't.
you know what? Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Yes, here's the thing. There's one thing, and this is one of the things that I was disappointed with. Was his hand was always messing up, and they never explained that. He's always holding his hand. His hand is twitching.
Yeah.
And so, did he M count himself? Is he like super soldiered? And he did. So could he
or
like,
is he
survive
has he
that?
cloned himself?
Or you're right. Or is he
Has he
cloned
dabbled
somewhere?
in his own? You know?
Yeah, right. His own
With his
juices.
own supply.
Yeah.
Right, because he's always
Is he getting high off his own
Is he
supply?
getting high off his
and
own supply?
The thing is, like, his hand
Never
was
knew that.
very twitchy in a very similar way to Crosshair's hand.
Yeah.
And Crosshair's hand was twitchy because of the experimentation.
Yeah.
So was he giving himself
Sure.
end count doses?
Did he
whatever?
like
right
hold himself off that platform?
or was
he
he
a clone?
Right. That's what. Yeah. What
Did
Harry
you
was
just
saying.
say that?
Yeah, he
Oh,
did
I'm
just
sorry.
say it.
It's
And
okay.
get
No one
those,
listens.
get those
That's good.
headphones out of your ears. Yeah. Exactly. Will he wake up later? But no, Hemlock I think was my favorite part of the show.
Hemlock was good. I
loved
loved his just like
he reminds me of he's the Star Wars Cillian Murphy. He just reminds me of, like, if they could do a live action, I would put Cillian
Murphy would be a great casting as Hemlock.
Yep.
Well, there is an actor that looks. It's him. The voice actor looks identical to him.
Oh, really?
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he's
Oh,
the
I
guy
had
from.
no idea.
He's from Game of Thrones. He's from Jack Ryan.
Oh,
He's
okay.
from some other stuff.
Oh.
Yeah,
Well, fair enough. I would still pick Cillian Murphy because Cillian Murphy is my man.
they're very similar,
Peaky Blinders.
man, bro.
except for this guy has a very like Swedish last name. So anyway,
Not Murphy.
Not
no,
Murphy.
not Irish.
At all.
So I liked Hemlock. I liked diving more into Necromancer, which we've heard talked about in The Mandalorian and Boba Fett, I think. I don't remember when they had the little council in it was The Mandalorian with the council.
Yeah.
Where they talked about
Sure.
the Project Necromancer, and I liked the idea. I like them teasing that more because I think they're building to that in the Ahsoka series and the Mandalorian series. So I'm fine with them not revealing everything, but they did reveal that it was guaranteed that M count was involved, which is great. We know for sure it's Force sensitive. We know for sure that's what he's trying to implant things with Force powers, including we got another version of the Dark Troopers, which were his operatives.
Right.
They're obviously imbued with some kind of force-ness.
Sure.
And I loved the operatives. I thought they were really cool.
Yeah, the operatives were
they
really
were
cool.
super creepy. The sniper that they followed for the majority of this season was super eerie, and he was just like, it was almost like those. And again, it goes with the Necromancer theme. It's like he was like undead, like he could not be stopped. He was thrown off cliffs. He was shot. He was thrown, whatever. And which is why I wonder if maybe Hemlock could live if he had been experimenting. Wrecker freaking murdered all those operatives, though.
Yeah.
When he dove the dude off of that
you
ledge.
pick one thing.
What are you doing?
You
Oh,
pick
sorry.
one thing.
Well, I was talking about the operatives.
Hemlock. Hemlock's your thing.
So Hemlock.
Guy's like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go through the whole entire season.
I know Harry's gonna pick something with
Something with
Wrecker,
the-
and you're over here just like, frickin', I'm gonna grab that. Let me take that right from him.
It felt like
That's
a
usually
natural-
Logan's role.
Yeah, I do that.
It felt like a
Know
natural
your role.
progression. It
Know
felt
your
like a
job.
natural- It felt like a natural progression.
Do your job.
All right. So I liked Hemlock. I liked the creepiness of him, and just
He
that
was
never
good.
let up. Like it
No.
was always every time you thought he couldn't get more sinister, he was just like, this dude's almost creepier than the Emperor.
He tried to, dude.
Well,
he
then
tried
the
to
Emperor
body-
showed up on Tantis, and it was like,
And there it
he's
is.
creepier than Hemlock. Never mind. He was the creepiest dude in the
No,
friggin'
but
world.
he tried to body freaking Moff Gideon. And
No,
not Moff Gideon.
Tarkin.
I'm sorry,
Tarkin.
Governor Tarkin. And Tarkin was like, "Excuse me?
do you know who I'm gonna become?
Yeah, do you know who I'm gonna be?
Well, and then I love at the end.
You will.
He's just like,
And then
Hemlock's dead. All of his stuff is gone.
it's all
Like,
mine now.
Take all of his resources and put it toward my thing, Project Stardust, which is such a great call to Rogue One.
Yeah, but it's also just like one of the most
Tarkin
thing
Yeah.
ever. This facility is shut down. I am in charge. Give me all the money. It's
What
all
a shame.
mine.
Oh, I see you failed, Lord Vader. That's I don't.
Yep. That's mine now.
Yeah. All right, Harry. How about you, man?
Since Greg stole everything.
I did. I didn't get all the way
You
into the
didn't.
second
You
one.
already named it. You said it.
No,
You said it.
there's
You
a few
ruined
things
it.
I really liked. The record thing with deucing up on people because I feel like he was kind of like
He was like-
MCU'd hulked. Like they kind of like they really nerfed him in season 2.
Yeah, they nerfed him in season 2.
And like he was
100%.
like all like Mr. T afraid of flying kind of thing.
Oh,
and, like,
the heights thing.
yeah, and it's just
heights.
like
yeah.
he just looks
And
like
then
a
in
little
season
baby.
3, finally they just
Right.
let him just
Let him cook.
Yeah.
Let him cook.
Yeah, it's true.
Let that
yeah.
man go. Take the leash off.
I mean,
Man's
anytime.
got the dog in him.
I mean, like probably my favorite character of all is the Gonk droid.
Yeah.
Gonky. You know, Gonky's 100. He's 100%. He's 100%. He's 1 for 1 at the free throw line. Like he's always there.
He's OP.
They're like, we need power. Boom, Gonky's there.
Gonky.
You know, Wrecker just carries them like Chewie and C-3PO.
As soon as Echo left, he was like, whatever, I'll fill the gap.
Gonky's always there.
Gonky's there.
He's always there. He's always there as a support character.
Steady.
No, in all seriousness, I do. First of all, I do love Gonk droids. They're always coming in clutch. But
It's
anyway,
true. It's true. Their little human legs with no knee joints.
It's just a box with 2 little feet
It's
on
them
it.
and mouse droids.
Yes.
They're like,
Yeah, I like how
steal the
Megan just
show.
kicked the mouse droid.
Yeah, 'cause-
She's
well,
like,
he was
in the
gonna
caption it
rat on her.
said like kicked security droid. I was just like,
Yeah.
okay.
He's gonna rat on her.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Not bad.
I'll give you that. So no, but my favorite, because like this the show, the animated came out like 2 years before the like more comic cartoonish animation came out from the guy that did Samurai Jack, that guy.
Oh yeah, Jenny Tartakovsky.
Yes. And
That was good.
then the
up
new
here.
one came out in 2008, and so like
Yeah,
when I
yeah.
was 11 years old, this came out.
Mm-hmm.
And like this was my full
So
embodiment of Star Wars. Like I saw all the movies, I saw anything, played all the games, started reading books, but then this came out.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this is amazing.
It was
Yeah,
like
this is
Halo, Call of
spectacular.
Duty.
Yeah.
Became Star
And
Wars.
like then they like brought a movie out, and it was great. Then they did the TV series. So like since then I fell in love with like these characters, and just this guy.
It was happening. I was trying to
This
stop
guy.
it.
Good thing we're recording on my phone.
What is this amateur hour over here? How long have we been doing this? 4 years now. 4 years.
Too long have you
Shut
done
up.
this?
You were taking everything. You don't even know your own job
and
anymore.
shift it. Shift
Who are
it.
you?
Shift
You know why?
it.
Who are
You know
you?
why? Because-
Who are
Because
you?
the sound wizard has been gone for so long.
Just
I've
let
forgotten.
him do something.
Our high ground has been
Shut
gone.
up.
No, but honestly, my favorite characters are the
Anyway.
clones.
Stop popping the Nightwing. The
It's
Batwing.
the Batwing.
It's
not the
gonna
Nightwing.
break.
Are you a Batman fan?
I hate this man. Keep going. I'm gonna get the gonk droid out. Just have him
Gonk
kill
him.
him. Gonk him.
I'm gonna
I'm gonna
gonk you.
gonk you.
A lot of times, gonk droids do have explosives in them. So
You're gonna
Yeah.
get us demonetized. I'm gonna gonk you.
I'm gonna.
I'm gonna gonk you good.
why can't
That's
I-
a new
why
T-shirt. Make it
can't
a
I
T-shirt.
gonk you?
I'm gonna gonk you. You're bringing the gonk out of me.
Bring the gonk out.
There can be no picture either.
Yeah.
Just the
Just
text.
gonk.
I'm gonna gonk you.
I'm gonna gonk you. White lettering, black T-shirt.
And, on the back is just if you know, you know.
Hashtag got gonk.
got gonk.
Anyway,
Oh my gosh.
no, my favorite part of this are
Best-selling
always
T-shirt.
the regs, the regs
Yeah.
clones.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just like Rex and
Yeah.
seeing like Gregor and
Yeah.
Wolf and
Yeah.
everybody else. Like I don't know, it's just a
What
part of my
call.
childhood.
Wolf.
You know what I mean?
What a callback.
What a
with
callback,
Wolf.
man. He's so good.
Yeah.
It's just a part of my childhood. So it's
Mhm.
like it's like although the season wasn't like great, it's bittersweet kind of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like I think that
Yeah.
they're probably gonna be done with clones for a while.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
I
probably.
don't know. We don't know,
Yeah.
and it's just like everyone knows that that's like always a not a cash grab, but it's like a easy appealment.
Yeah.
People like it.
whatever
Yeah.
Just
to
people,
people.
like it. Yeah.
And so I don't know if they're just gonna be like, yeah, that was good for like then, and like we kind of like let that die off. But
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
it's sad to see that something that's been since I was 11. So what is
Yeah.
that 20 or 16 years of my life?
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
somewhat involved in shows and stuff like that. So, I mean, I was like ecstatic when they brought back season 7 for Clone Wars. So,
Oh man, and it was so good.
it was so
It was
good.
great.
It was so good.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful that some of the characters, were able to come through. But like, I want a live action Rex.
Yeah, for sure.
We saw him in the Obi-Wan. We saw him in the Obi-Wan.
Right, people believe that the beggar clone sitting there
No,
as Rex,
well,
wasn't
no.
it?
Rex was in like the flashbacks
Oh,
with like
yeah,
Anakin
we
and
did.
stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
So
we
you
did.
like
You're right,
saw
you're right,
him,
you're
but
right.
like you didn't like see him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't get to say
So
stuff.
like my favorite part's
You
always
get
the
to be
clones. I love the
Rexy.
clones.
yeah,
They're
so cool.
they're all the same, but yet different in their own way. So
Oh yeah, yeah,
Same, but
same,
Same,
but different.
but different.
but different.
Yes.
Yeah. What do you guys think? Season 2 or season 3
Which one was
of
better?
Bad Batch? Yeah. Wait, which one do you think was better?
Season 1.
Well, I know season 1's the best one. That's why I'm not putting it there.
Um,
What do you think? It's tough. I think
Two.
it's tough.
2.
Yeah,
I think 2.
I say 2
Just
also.
because of like the fight between brothers,
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there are moments.
and they actually killed somebody.
Yeah.
Like Tech died.
I think there are moments.
It was
of
sad,
3.
but
There are moments of 3 that are better than 2. But overall, I think 2 is better.
Overall,
as well.
2 is
Yeah,
better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not. It's again 3 not bad in any like it's not a bad season.
Sure.
It's not bad.
we've seen bad Star Wars.
It's a
Yeah.
right.
We've
This
seen
is-
bad
We've
Star
seen-
Wars.
yeah.
Overall,
We've seen bad.
we know what
just
they
in
could
shows.
do.
We've
Well,
seen
we'll
bad
do-
Star Wars shows.
We'll
we
do
know what
a-
they could do.
We'll do a verdict of the series as a whole at the end of this episode. But yeah, I think it definitely wasn't bad. Could they have done better? Sure.
Yeah.
Definitely wasn't bad. So you were saying there were some things you were disappointed about.
I just don't like
What-
the direction that they ended up going.
Yeah, for sure.
Personally, I didn't
Which
think it was
part?
that great. So I thought with Project Necromancer, they were building to something more behind the safe. And then honestly, when it ended up being the kids, I was
Sure.
kind of let down.
Well,
like
it was
I
the
was
kids and those red tanks of the people he was experimenting on. That was part of it too.
I guess,
like him
but-
injecting the super soldier stuff.
I was kind of disappointed by
Yeah,
it.
you wanted more.
I wanted more. I wanted them to go further. I thought, with all the stuff that we ended up eventually seeing that he had at Tantus, like
Yes.
I
Yeah.
expected more behind like the most secure portion of the facility,
Right, and
which also wasn't that secure.
In his
Like
defense,
of
yeah,
a
that she
place
get out through
because
the
she
thing.
just gets out through the wall. The wall is literally
With a
like
little
a
toothpick.
drywall.
In
Like
his-
it's a tile.
in his
Like-
defense of what we saw, like
Yeah.
like the results, he didn't have anything to really make results until Omega.
Right.
And he only got like a handful of her blood samples.
Right.
So like, yeah, he had those other kiddos there, but they really weren't doing the job
I'm
because they didn't match.
yeah.
The blood didn't match. Only her, because they had those kids, and it obviously wasn't working. But her blood.
well,
was the
her
match.
blood. No.
Or her blood was the
her blood
bridge.
had the bridge. That's
bridge.
it was the
Well, they were
connection to
M-count
being
kiddos
able
too,
to
though.
then.
They were M count kiddos too.
Right.
But she was the only one that
that
bridged.
could have transfer.
Right. So like when you
and
say
have
like,
a greater M count in
Right.
the transfer is what he was also saying.
right, so he didn't have many results because he didn't have the stuff to actually make the results.
It's
still disappointing,
It
but
was
it's like,
disappointing
yeah.
because I just would have liked to have seen us go further with this necromancer story because
Sure.
I feel like we're doing nothing with it. I
Yeah,
honestly,
we've talked about it a
truthfully,
lot.
like we've talked about it so much. I feel like it is going nowhere. I feel like at a certain point, we're just going to lose this storyline, and then
Yeah,
we're
maybe.
going to have at some point we're going to be like, what the heck were they doing with this huge necromancer story that was spanning multiple series as a backstory? Like,
Do you think-
and then it just nothing ever comes to fruition from it. That's my fear.
Yeah.
And I kind of was hoping
This
that
would be more.
instead of a bridge, like this series was going to be made even more valid, even more important because it was
Yeah.
going to be something where you had to watch part of the cartoon
Right,
to
right.
be able to then justify what was going on, for example, in Ahsoka or in one of the
Yeah.
live actions. And I'm just disappointed a little bit by it. I thought it was cool the way they ended with having her go and join the rebellion.
Yes.
And
Agreed. Yeah, that was cool.
and her justification to Hunter,
Yeah.
her also explanation of like, you guys have your fight is done.
Right.
Like it's
She's
my
still got more.
time to fight.
And she doesn't know she's an M count because
Right.
Asajj Ventress told her she didn't.
Right.
So she still, unless the Bad Batch told her at some
So-
point, but she still believes she's normal. Do you
Yeah.
think? Do you think? And this is it's just hot take.
Sure.
Do you think the Mandalorian movie that they have, because they have planned a movie now for
Yeah.
the Mandalorian? There's not. I don't think a season, was it 5 or 4 was confirmed, but the movie's confirmed. There's
It
gonna
would
be a
have been
movie.
season
Was
4.
it 4? Yeah. The movie's confirmed. Do you think that the movie, because Grogu is kind of our bridge to the Necromancer plan.
Yeah.
You know, I think the movie will involve a live action Omega who's an adult who comes in and then finalizes that, and the movie's about Necromancer, and it finalizes
I think that'd be cool.
that.
I think that'd be great. Yeah,
I would really appreciate.
I'd like that.
I think that would be the best way to bring in a live action Bad Batch person, is to bring in like the adult Omega, and have her, you know, she survived the war, and she then helps. She's also that intel connection for, you know, Din Djarin about Project Necromancer.
I don't have a better way that they could have done this end season.
Gotcha.
That's not what I'm saying. I really love, again, I don't want them to change anything about Crosshair's storyline or Omega's like connection with him. That's not what I'm saying. I just don't feel as like for a series finale, a series conclusion. I don't feel fully like culminated.
Yeah, that makes sense. I get that. Yeah, it did feel a little lackluster, where it's like, well, I guess they just went back to the planet.
It just kind of felt like a bit of a letdown. It just kind of felt like it almost fizzled out.
Well, and Harry and I were talking about this this morning, that like I mean, I guess it just died with Hemlock, but to me it's like they just went back to that planet that the Empire found. And like lived happily ever after until for like another 7 years. Or 10 years or whatever, until she joined the rebellion. That seems a little far-fetched. Like they wouldn't just find her on that planet. I mean, they've been there, so it just seems kind of weird they went back.
Yeah, but she's no longer needed, no longer necessary. All of the plans were destroyed, and all of the funds were then moved over to Project Stardust. So she is no longer
a priority.
She was a priority to Hemlock, and that is it, because of the fact that didn't move forward.
Yeah, that was his passion project.
All of the research was destroyed.
Yeah, right.
Like,
that was
awesome.
When she freaking drops the thermal detonator.
Yep, that was awesome. So, but with that,
you're right.
She's no longer necessary. She's no longer sought after.
Fair enough. Harry, what do you think, man? Is there anything that like you wish they would have done better, or hands getting sweaty?
Yeah.
Well, the whole
Thanks.
The whole plot was contorted, I feel like, after season 1 with
the mess up on Camino.
Yeah.
We all know I've harped on this how many times?
The biggest gripe.
Victoria heard it a couple nights ago when I was telling her about it.
So here's what happened, and they ruined it.
Pretty much. So they had a chance. I feel like they kind of tried to redeem it with all the clones fighting back at the end here in the season.
Yeah.
But there's nothing to remediate that. Like, there's nothing to bring it back. So
this series has been dead to Harry since then.
They blew up Rampart. So at least they got revenge on him for blowing up Camino. But still.
True. But it's just a common theme that literally this is why we're doing what we're doing. It's a common theme of us seeing that there is great source material. There's great authors, people. Like, so when I was growing up, you know, I watched the show, like I said. I watched all this different stuff. I read the books. Some of the books being books by Karen Traviss, who's like, she's done Batman. She's done Batman, Arkham Unhinged during like that's a more modern like Batman detective series, kind of that era. Yeah. And then she's done Gears of War books. She's done cool. She's a kind of author. I'll give her the respect she deserves. She's the type of author that takes the idea of other people that they've done and then just giving them in-depth, deep plots of just amazing character developments within another universe, or even the same universe, just as like something else. And like, if people use it for source material, great. If they don't, they don't. But like, she wrote books about the Republic Commandos, and these were like specialized troops, like 99, and there was the Omega Squad and Delta Squad, and there was like, I forget the characters' names within it because I read them well over 10 years ago. But like, all of them had like their special abilities, kind of heightened senses, things like that. Maybe not like to the extent of like a giant one like Wrecker, but there was like a bigger one, you know, like a bigger. And I've talked about this before on the other show or the other episodes, but like, they obviously took some of that, you know, for sure. And they just, like, those guys were like legit. And like that's what made it cool to read about these clones, was because like that's all they did. They just did clone stuff. They just did special ops and like
So
you know
clone stuff.
you know
I'd be doing clone stuff.
right, aka just
Chilling
being
doing clone
soldiers,
stuff.
you
Right.
know, like killing
Right,
things
right,
and
right,
people and stuff. So like
Good soldiers follow orders.
right,
Yep.
and like it's stuff like that, and then eventually they do get to the Order 66 section in Karen's books and stuff, and then it's just kind of similar. Like they battle it out, try to figure it out. They're different, you know. This is a specialized group, so it's like there's plenty of source material, and I feel like we got away from that, and this was
Yeah.
it was almost like it was almost like a like an abusive relationship. Like Bad Batch got used as a way for them to kind of help drive, which is normally fine, help drive their point, but they messed up on their points.
Right.
They messed up with
Yeah,
Necromancer. They're trying to like, and then they like threw Stardust in there because it's just like, okay, like we'll tie it in here.
Tie it back
And
to
like
Death
that,
Star,
that
yeah.
is okay. That would have been fine.
Yeah,
And like,
yeah.
although I like the theory behind Necromancer, they did that in the books plenty of times.
Yeah,
Cloning
yeah.
of
Lots
like
of Emperor
evil
clones.
people
Yep.
and stuff
Yeah.
like that. That's fine. But because it's for them to help their narrative that they messed up on in the sequels,
Right.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that's where I have a problem with it, and I'm
Yeah.
not okay with it.
Yeah.
And like, although the Necromancer project and everything else is cool, and I like the character, I like Hemlock. I really liked Hemlock, I did, but the narrative behind it, out off of the animation screen, was because they're like, we gotta find a place
We
where we
got to
can
figure
fix
out a way
this.
to do this.
Yeah,
And it's messed
hopefully-
up.
Hopefully they do eventually just kind of wipe out the sequels and make
Right,
new ones.
but-
But
We talked about this, like they didn't even get to a point where they could say, oh, this is where we fixed it.
Right.
not yet. Yeah,
They
not
used
yet.
the whole show to try to use this as a fixing point, and it's still leaking.
Yeah.
Right,
There's still a problem.
they're
And it's
getting
like,
close.
it's
Yeah,
like if
you're
you're
right.
gonna use a show,
Yeah.
get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
yeah.
saying.
Finish
man.
it up.
Yeah, I hear you.
Stop it.
Well,
like
Ahsoka season 2 needs to actually use the force veil and fix it.
fix
'Cause
it.
They started to. They showed the
And
force veil. They showed
yeah.
it's available. So like now use it.
And they shouldn't have used Bad Batch as a way to fix it.
Yeah.
There's plenty of other storylines they could have done. There's plenty of other. They could have just been Bad Batch was working for the Republic. Order 66 happened. Same thing with the whole plot line with Crosshair.
Yeah.
Still could have been in there.
Yeah.
The plot line with Omega still could have been in there. It's
Yeah.
just that the
Well-
Necromancer / Omega was
They could have just been using it to make Dark Troopers,
sure.
like to make an
Yeah.
elite
Yeah.
version of Empire troops, and that would.
Sure.
I mean, think about like
They could have just alluded to that this was for Project Necromancer.
right.
And like there's a deep, darker plot behind it, but like this was their failed attempt to do that.
Yeah.
They're like, this is what we're gonna use to help drive that point, and then they're like, we're not gonna do
They
that.
blew it
Yeah.
all up.
But we're gonna
Yeah.
over talk about it.
Yep.
Waste a whole season about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they've now they've put themselves in a position where they've got to take another series to draw in the fact
Right.
that somewhere the Necromancer group survived and is still working on stuff.
Sure.
Like the character Echo is 16 years old.
He's great. He's the best part of the show, I think.
Or 14 years old, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Oh, wait to now. So
Yeah.
no, 16. Yeah, he's 16 years old. And
Yeah.
like they are destroying a 16-year-old character. And I know like there's like 60-year-old characters at this point in Star Wars or whatever. But
they've destroyed
or 40, 50.
Han Solo,
Right. Like but
Luke
But-
Skywalker. Yeah.
But this is an animation. They like it's easier to pump it out quicker, whatever. And like it's not usually the Clone Wars animated series are usually not used to have like such crucial,
Right.
critical changing points in their plots,
Right.
and they tried to use it for that. And it's like
Yeah.
you just ruined the whole series.
Yeah, they're not
you
big-
ruined the whole Bad Batch series for
They're
this.
not big canon pushers.
Yeah,
Right,
that's
and it's
fine.
and it's sad for me because it's a part of my childhood, like Star Wars in general,
That's a
and
bigger
any other
impact.
comic that we
Yeah.
do. But
Yeah.
because I'm a big Star Wars fan,
Yeah.
and this especially came out
Yeah.
when I was young. It's not only just something that I liked when I was young; it came out when I was young,
And I took
Right.
that.
and I took that personally.
This is my show now.
Yeah, and so
100%.
it's like, and now it's just
Yeah.
over. It's nothing.
Yep.
It's nothing
Yeah.
to them. Look what they did to my boy. My boy.
Yeah, at least it wasn't as garbage as other things.
It could have been worse.
It could have been way worse.
been
For
worse,
sure could have been
way
worse.
worse.
But you can say that about anything.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
It could have been a heck of a lot better.
Are we here
No,
to settle for
there's some
mediocre
things-
No.
comic
There are
properties?
some things that can't get much worse. There are
It's
some
true.
things that
True.
you
In Bad
can't
Batch?
make worse.
It's true.
Yeah.
Bad Batch?
No,
no,
in
just
our
generally.
job.
I'm just
New
talking
Mutants?
generally. New Mutants.
New
Like,
Mutants.
They couldn't have made that worse.
Yeah.
No. So anyway,
They could
so
have made it worse,
I'm hurting
but not much.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I'm sad, but I wish they would have just ended it with season 7.
Clone Wars.
Wow. Season 7 was beautiful
Yeah.
Yes, it
of
was.
the Clone Wars.
Yes, it was.
Season 1 of
right.
Bad Batch was
And
great. They could have ended it there.
Yeah, they could have just done
could
one
have
season
ended
with it.
The episode before they blew up Kamino without the battle.
It's true. I don't even want to talk about that. I'm not going to get into that.
Season
I'm not
7,
going down that road.
That's a
Season 7 gave us an awesome ending to the clones
Yep.
when Rex helped Ahsoka escape, and they left with like all the helmets on the pikes. And
Right.
It was just like that
And
was just
Vader
cool.
comes up to
Vader
it.
comes up to it.
like
That was
that's
it.
dirty.
That was
that's
freaking
good.
sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not going to get much better than Clone Wars season 7.
No.
Like when it comes to the animated offshoots.
Yep.
You're just not. That was freaking amazing.
Verdict.
Verdict. I mean, this isn't a really correction, but we'll do a verdict anyway.
Sure.
It's always a correction when it's me in Star Wars.
Do we want to do? Do we want to
Always.
do? Do we want to do a whole series or?
We can do both. Just
both?
quick.
Okay.
quick.
All right.
Yeah, just-
We'll end with you because you're our
That's fine.
resident expert.
I'm mine's pretty straightforward.
Wait. So do series or season and then series.
Okay.
So season 3 and then series.
I forget.
It's
Wait, hold
both.
on. I haven't been here in like a month and a half, 2 months.
It is.
What is it again? We
uh,
added one.
Hot pile of garbage.
Right.
is
High
the
file
lowest.
garbage.
Then garbage.
Then garbage.
Then is what it is.
Is what it is.
And then perfection.
Then
We
perfection.
still have
Right.
not
Still
put a
need an
middle
in-between.
piece in there, which we will eventually, but we haven't yet.
Okay.
So go ahead.
It's just is what it is.
Is what it is for both.
Both.
Yeah.
Both for me. It is
Okay.
what it is.
Yeah.
I had higher hopes. I wanted more.
And you don't have
But
as
it is what
much
it is.
of a childhood connection
No.
or as much of an earlier connection.
No,
to
I'm
these-
not.
these shows.
To Harry's point, yeah.
There was
I'm
years
not.
when I told Logan
Well,
he needed to watch
Yeah, I
these.
was
I
gonna
was
say,
like, you gotta watch
I feel
them.
like I feel like
and
we're
I did,
in,
and I caught up and I watched
did.
them, but I
I feel
but
like we're
my
in
point
stages.
was-
I feel like we're in stages.
Yeah.
You kind of watched them all very recently.
Yep.
I
Right.
watched them when I was like kind of in the middle age, and then you watched them as a kid. So it's
Yep.
like
Yep.
you've got the most, I've got a little bit, you've got not as much.
Yeah.
But so we've got
But
a nice.
I've
but
got
it's-
also the
it's-
freshest take. And,
It's true.
but
You've
it's
seen it all
still
most
it is what it
recently.
is.
Sure.
Like I just
That's a fair point. Fair.
I wanted more from it. I didn't get it.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it
yeah.
wasn't bad, and
Right.
that's it.
It wasn't a bad batch.
It wasn't a bad batch. It was just bad batch.
I'm gonna say source material wise is what it is. Man, I'm
Season series.
that's right. You're right. So you're right.
yeah, I
was
don't know.
going back to
I was
the-
like,
Well, I was going back to with corrections. We do like source them
Right.
personal.
Season.
Yeah. So
Series.
season. I'm gonna say is what it is. Series. I'm also gonna say is what it is, but only because we have nothing between that and perfection. I can't give it a perfection.
Mm.
But I think
Yeah.
think
Okay.
honestly, in our current scale, I think it's better than is what it is, but not perfection. So, but I had nothing
Yeah.
to give. So it is
Yeah.
what it is. Is what
We
it
need
is.
to figure it out.
We gotta figure it out.
Go ahead, Harry.
Brainstorm.
yeah.
do you think?
I think because of the amount of abuse this season got, I'm gonna say garbage.
Oh,
Yep.
he wants it.
Yeah.
He wants to go there.
The amount of pain this has brought me, I want to say it's worse than is what it is, but it's not. It's Bad Batch was good.
There
The
you go.
season was good. You know,
You mean the
they
series?
say the series, yes. They
But the
say
season was garbage.
Season
the
was garbage,
series
series
is
was
what it is.
yes.
Yeah.
They
What
say
do
that it's better to love and loss than never love at all.
It's true.
So I'm going to say that it's better to see a remnants of something that could have been than never seen it at all.
Okay.
Right.
So
And that wasn't like the worst thing in the world. Like,
sure,
it wasn't.
season 1 was good,
Yeah, season 1 was
Yeah.
good.
minus Omega, but like
Yeah,
Betcha!
yeah,
Omega was rough season 1.
Yeah, she had to grow up, and when she grew up, she
Right.
got way better.
Yes.
right. It has
did.
nothing to do with like what she is. It has everything to do with like kind of who she is.
It's
Yeah.
well, it's the fact that
Like she's not because she's a teenage girl. It's just they kind of did make her a little annoying.
well, when in the first series, in the first season, she was like 8.
Sure. Yeah,
believe it or not.
she was a little girl.
She's like a little, yeah, and so she's
just
going to be
lost.
annoying.
But she was
She's just out
okay.
there lost.
She was okay because she was looking for family, and she found it, which is nice, and that's good.
Yeah.
Family.
But then she became like, she's like, I gotta prove everything.
Bo.
Yeah.
Or a little. I wish.
And then in this season, she got a little bit better at the end.
and she had a
But-
cool crossbow thing, which she only used like once. I wish she
Right.
used
She's
that
like,
more. It was
oh,
super cool.
Yeah.
Like,
Where'd
I
she
found
go?
this
A
where it was,
bowcaster.
Echo gave it to her, and
Yeah.
she's like, "Oh, so cool."
Bowcaster's sweet.
And bowcasters
Yeah.
are sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, Star Wars is cool. We like Star Wars. We're hoping that Tales of the Empire is good. We're hoping that the Acolyte is good. We're excited. For
Acolyte looks pretty good
that. Acolyte looks really
because
fun.
it's so far fetched that
It's the High Republic. We've
hopefully
never been there. In a
hopefully
live
they
action.
don't ruin it.
I hope not. I mean, Trinity.
That's where a lot of legacy stuff is.
I know.
That's
need
where a lot of
Acolyte
legends
to be
are.
Well,
awesome.
I don't know. And leaving the comics, I don't know who is. I mean, obviously Filoni has a hand in it, but I don't know how much he's in it. And
Well, let
so
me put
I
it in
don't know.
perspective. The first time they ever mentioned High Republic in the Disney cinematic universe
yeah.
for Star Wars, they're like, they did a panel and they did like kind of like an introduction of the panel that's working on it. They're like, none of us have ever read anything.
Oh, great.
And yeah, and they're like, and like a couple of people were like, yeah, I didn't even really like Star Wars that much.
Oh,
but
no.
when I got hired, I was just like, are you kidding me right now?
Why?
What are you doing?
Do you know how many Star Wars fans live? Like exist?
Star Wars is a #1 franchise
Oh, my
with
goodness.
like the #1 specific allotted amount of fans ever to be existed ever.
Yeah. Yeah, and they found the 10 people. that
10
don't
people are
like
like,
Star
I don't even
Wars.
like Star Wars.
Hey, do you guys like
We
Star
went
Wars?
out,
No,
we scoured
good.
the globe.
We found them.
We found
We
them.
found them, everybody.
These are our leaders.
None of them had ever.
I
seen
purposely
or
didn't
read
finish it to see
anything.
who the credits were so I can't hunt them down.
Yeah.
Just saying.
That's good. It's
I'm
smart.
just saying.
That's smart. Smart move.
If I knew your
Smart
name,
move.
I'd have your number.
Fighting in the street. Fighting in the street.
All right, guys. We will talk about more Star Wars later. We hope you liked it. Or at least enjoyed it a little bit. Leave your comics down below. Let us know what you thought about Bad Batch, the series, and the season. And we will see you guys in the next episode of the Legion of Comic Correction.